Hello everyone, this is Refresh and I'm here to bring you a look at Ultimate Guard's premium soft sleeves for square size board game cards. These sleeves are clear, and according to the packaging it says that it protects and stores game cards for Catan card game plus expansions, Anno 1701 card game, Summertime, Power Grid, and more. These sleeves have an MSRP of $2.25, and for that you get 50 sleeves, which is an average of a little around 5 cents per sleeve, which makes them in the medium of price range when it comes to sleeves of the size. These are soft sleeves, notably, and they are around the same price as a lot of other manufacturers' thicker sleeves. So I guess we have to determine whether these sleeves are actually worth the premium price. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what is inside. As you can see, the sleeves are smooth and glossy on both sides. Now we'll count and see if there are 50 sleeves here. Okay, there are 51 sleeves here, so there is one more sleeve than advertised. It's always good if there are the advertised number of sleeves, but it doesn't hurt to have one extra, so you can't complain about that. Now let's check the thickness of these sleeves. These sleeves appear to be half a centimeter thick. For 50 sleeves, that means that each sleeve is 100 microns thick or 50 microns each face. Now to check the dimensions. These sleeves are 73 millimeters wide by 73 millimeters tall, just as advertised. Now let's check to see how a card fits. I have a card from Power Grid right here. We'll put it inside. Alright, the card has just a little bit of play on the sides and just a little bit of space between the opening of the sleeve and the top edge of the card. As you can see, this means that the top is fairly open and the top edge of the card is relatively exposed to the elements. Some of you will prefer the more tighter fit of these sleeves such that the plastic isn't too evident, and others might want a sleeve with a bit more space on the top as to give the top edge of the card a little bit more protection. Now it's time for the sleeving test. I'm going to sleeve these 43 Power Grid cards into these sleeves and see how long it takes. Ready, set, go. It took 2 minutes and 10 seconds to sleeve these cards, and that's a decent speed of 2.89 seconds per card sleeved. Overall, I didn't really feel like the sleeving process had any major glitches. Like with a lot of soft sleeves, these sleeves are a little bit flexible, and sometimes when opening them to put the cards in, it does feel like you need to be gentle as not to ruin the sleeve. But other than that, I didn't really feel like the sleeves had much of a problem with the process of putting cards into them. Now that we've sleeved these cards, we'll check for consistency. These sleeves feel pretty uniform in terms of their height, and in terms of their width, there don't seem to be any real outliers amongst this batch. And in terms of the overall quality of the sleeves right out of the pack, I don't really notice any major defects in these sleeves. So I feel pretty good with the overall quality of the sleeves as they come out of the pack. Now it's time for the shuffle test. I'm going to shuffle these sleeved cards 100 times and see how long it takes. Ready, set, go. It took 2 minutes and 32 seconds to shuffle these 100 times, and that's a modest speed of 1.52 seconds per shuffle. I think that the shuffling process was fairly decent for these sleeves, but I do think that the size was challenging, as it usually is with cards of this size, and also there was a little bit of sponginess to the sleeves which made the handling a little weird, and I also seemed to notice that the cards stick to each other just a little, and so sometimes it led me to drop some cards because I thought they were held, but they were actually only held by static, which caused them to drop off at some point. And so these are decent sleeves when it comes to shuffling, not the best, but they're fine. Now that I've handled these sleeved cards a bit, let's go ahead and take a look to see if there is any noticeable wear. Alright, well overall these sleeves are in actually pretty good shape. There's one sleeve that has a little bit dent on one side, but that seems to be the only exception to the rule. And I don't know if that was put there during the shuffling process or if I put that there while I was sleeving the cards. So I don't know if it's necessarily a problem with the cards' durability in terms of how long they're going to hold together while you handle them, but as much as the fragility of soft sleeves when you are handling them, especially when you're doing something more physical like putting a card in one of these sleeves. But because of the relative clean and new feeling of the rest of the cards, I do think that this may have been due to handling in the sleeving process much more than the actual regular handling. And a few nice things about these sleeves are that despite the fact that they're soft sleeves, the corners don't actually end up bent. There's no splits or any noticeable surface wear either, so you can tell that these are fairly decent quality sleeves, but because they are soft sleeves, they are more fragile, and hence the damage to the sleeve here in terms of a crease put into the surface of this sleeve. Now it's time for the shake test. I'm going to shake this sleeve deck of cards and see how long it holds up after 2 seconds. Ready, set, go. Alright, the deck hardly budged, so you can tell that this deck is not going to fall down anytime soon. Now for the draw test, I'm going to draw 3 cards off the top and see how well the deck holds together. Ready, set, go. Alright, there doesn't seem to be any problem in drawing cards off the top. Even though the sleeve cards do have a slight stick to each other, they easily come apart when you are drawing cards off the top. And so I'm not really concerned that there's going to be any handling issues in terms of making a deck and or drawing cards off of that deck as you use these sleeves. Like a lot of Ultimate Guard premium soft sleeves, I feel like these are very high quality as far as soft sleeves go, and you could almost understand the reason why these sleeves are so highly priced. They are as expensive as a lot of the thicker sleeves of this size, and that's just because this is a relatively premium product. Now these are still soft sleeves, and so they're going to have a lot of the weaknesses of soft sleeves in terms of their overall long-term durability and how fragile that they might end up being when it comes to rough handling. But I do think that if you are in the market specifically for soft sleeves and you want soft sleeves that are of the highest quality, this is probably going to be your only real choice when it comes to soft sleeves. These are still probably the king of the lot. If this video was helpful to you, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more such videos, hit subscribe. I have surveys in the description box below. All you have to do is click on those links and share your experiences with any sleeves of this size in terms of their durability and their consistency, and that information will be put on the Innate Games resource page. This was Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.